Hey everyone, and welcome back to Julie's Cozy Living. In today's video I'm sharing a cozy spring garden cleanup as I start resetting the garden for a new season and preparing everything for spring. I'll be removing old leaves, doing some pruning and adding compost to refresh the borders. This is what the garden currently looks like. As you can see, I already have some spring flowers waiting to be planted. I will be sharing that in a separate video very soon. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Over here I also have a big stack of soil ready to go, mainly compost for the borders and vegetable garden mix to refill my raised beds. Talking about raised beds, here you can see some of my raised beds. And behind them you can see one of our borders. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of all dead foliage that needs to be cleared away, so that's definitely one of today's main tasks. Here you can already see some new leaves coming up. And the ivy here also needs a good trim since it's trying to take over the trellis of my raised beds. And this is the other border. This one is already mostly cleaned up, but I will still remove some of the weeds and I will also prune some of the fern leaves. And here you can see the back of the border. And over here you can also see a few raised beds that will need a proper clean. Now that I've shown you around the garden, it's time to put on my gardening gloves and begin. I'm going to start by tidying up this border. I'll be cutting back all the old leaves and stems and removing any weeds that have popped up. The ivy is also trying to spread here, so I'm removing these runners to keep it under control. Now I'm moving over to the other border. Today I want to cut away the old leaves of these ferns. As you can see, new growths already emerging from the center. And here we have what many gardeners consider their biggest enemy, ground elder. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with it in this border for years. The best way I've found to keep it under control is to remove them in early spring and removing as much of the roots and runners as possible. I also have this insect hotel here that fell. I'm going to try to fix it sometime in the coming days. As you can see, I'm cutting away all of the fern leaves. This is to make room for new healthy leaves to emerge. Now that the border is cleared, I'm moving on to pruning the ivy. Even though I love gardening, this is definitely one of my least favorite tasks. But early spring, before anything is growing in the raised beds, is the perfect time to tackle it. It was quite a big job, but this is the result. After all this pruning, it's time for a little tea break. With the pruning done, I'm focusing on one of the final steps for today, improving and feeding the soil. I'm starting by adding lime to the areas where I don't have acid-loving plants. This helps improve the soil structure and creates better growing conditions for the season ahead. Next, I'm adding a generous layer of compost to the borders. It's always a bit of work, but I love how fresh and neat everything looks afterwards. Last year I skipped this step once and I definitely noticed that the plants didn't perform as well. So this year we decided to pick up a few bags from the garden center again. Compost adds valuable nutrients to the soil and also improves its structure, which makes such a difference over time. To finish things off, I'm sprinkling some organic fertilizer pellets. The compost already contains nutrients, so I'm using a slightly smaller amount than usual. That way, I know my plants will have everything they need to grow strong and healthy this season. Another task I always like to include is topping up my flower pots, especially the larger ones with perennials like these. These two pots contain hostas. Over time, soil tends to disappear due to wind and watering. So early spring is the perfect moment to refill them and give them a little extra feed as well. I didn't have time to work on the raised beds today, so I'll be sharing that in a separate video. And this is the final result. I'm so happy with how fresh and tidy everything looks again. It really feels like the garden is ready for a new season. That's it for today's video. This was the first step in getting the garden ready for spring, and I'm excited to share the next part with you very soon. I hope this cozy spring garden cleanup gave you some motivation to step outside and start preparing your own garden for spring, or simply brought you a little moment of calm and inspiration. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.